Well, it made us wait, Brennan, but we're live here on Rewatchers Council, the Angel Edition. Snark, along with, of course, Brennan Moore. How are you, Brennan?
I am good. I'm enjoying this show a lot.
Well, very good, because I was going to ask you a couple of questions as soon as we get going here, just about Angel himself. But first, we'll do the whole spiel here, the beginning spiel. As Reprise is what we're covering today. It's season 2, episode 15. The original air date for this one, it's just past its silver anniversary, Brennan. February 20th of the year 2001.
Oh, wow.
Written, yeah, I'm not old. Oh, written by Tim Minear. He last co-wrote Reunion. And
Yes.
yes, and directed by James Whitmore Jr. This is the only Angel episode he directed. Of course, did I think 5 Buffy episodes. The last one being the Zeppo.
Oh, not that one.
This has a much different tone, I think, than the Zeppo, the Xanderist episode ever.
Yes, I would agree there.
Yeah. Guest star alert time is Thomas Capacci playing the 2001 edition of Denver. Takes over from Brett Rickerby, who played him, of course, in Are You Now and Have You Ever Been? He was I don't know if you recognized him, Brennan, but he has been in, I think, every Star Trek show since, not the original, but every other one. He was in Generations.
Yes.
And then he was in the Next Generation. I believe he was 2 or 3 different characters in that one, for goodness sakes.
Yes.
DS9 he was also in. He was also in Voyager. Always a different character. Then there was in, a whole bunch of Ferris's faves. Everybody's got to eat. You got to do those. I guess they're some of my wife's favorites as well, not just Ferris. He was also in The West Wing, which is one of my favorites. I think they said he played like a assistant secretary of state. I can't remember.
I recognized him, certainly.
Yeah. I can't remember that role at all. He was in like 6 episodes or something, so he was in it. But and he's still going. He's currently in that Your Friends and Neighbors, that show about with John Hamm or whatever, is a
yes.
Is a rich or formerly rich burglar, or something like that.
I do remember him in Generations. He had 1 line.
Oh. Well, if you would, if anybody would remember a guy with like 1 line in a Star Trek or a Star Wars show, it's definitely you, my friend.
Yes.
Yeah. Also, one of the sacrifice guys at the very beginning, the larger one with the blondish hair, that's David Fury, writer, director, producer on both, of course, Buffy and Angel and stuff. Of course, not his most famous bit acting he does on the show. For me, it'll always be the guy who's so happy about a laundromat getting the mustard out.
Oh, that guy. Yes.
But that will happen actually in the not too distant future, but season 6. Okay. So, again, speaking about David Fury and his character, Angel walks into a place and there's an awful lot of goats. Like, how many goats? Like, if you let's just say this, Brennan, you're gonna do some sacrificing to an eternal evil. How many goats do you think it would take?
As many as you need.
Well, I think they have just that much, because there are. Yeah, I've been around a lot of goats in my time. I don't want to say how or what, but those are the most goats I've ever seen in one place. I'm assuming didn't smell great in that place for a little while, having that many goats indoors. I know what the smell of having just a couple of goats indoors smells like. It's not terrific. Not terrific. Anyways, he needed to do all this just so we can go get news on more Wolfram Hart stuff.
Mm.
He doesn't have poor Merle to kick around anymore. Now he's got to go bother these, dime a dozen sacrifice guys that doing sacrifice from a box. Did you know I wonder if you can get that kind of stuff on Amazon these days? You might be able to. send away for your own check. Right, kid. Got to get the goat separate. I'm sure of that. Now, let's look in at the crew here over at the Angel Investigations. Uh, that family that comes in with their newly cycloptic daughter, at least through the back of her head, they on them, and they let them. I don't understand Wes's position. It's like, I'll let them leave. I would be, I'd be more on the Cordy side, furious that we didn't get paid for, dissolving an eyeball from your kid's head. If you're not going to pay someone for a service for that, what are you going to do it for? Dentist?
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Ridiculous. I think all they did was this scene here was just so they can get rid of Gunn for the episode, because he just says, well, if something comes up, give me a call. That's it for Gunn. The rest of the entire episode, looking for stuff for him to do, I think, right now on the show. And then, we find out or whatever that everyone in Wolfram Hart super anxious over a 75th year review coming from someone at home office. What kind of a number is 75?
I wonder about that.
There's generations of employees that would have lived a full, rewarding, as much as a full and rewarding career you can have at Wolfram and Hart, never have to experience a review. Every 75 years just seems
Interesting.
An arbitrary number at best. Lila's getting worried, of course, as she always is, looking for ways to pump up special projects and stuff like that, get their numbers up. Lindsay couldn't be bothered. I do like that Lila was jealous of the one woman who was willing to sacrifice her newly born child. Jealous almost. Gets mad at her mom for being right about having kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lila's something else. I always like having Lila on the show. Now, she's also concerned, of course, about Darla, the whole Darla and Drew of it all, if they're going to come by and, possibly butcher and maim a bunch more of their co-employees and subordinates.
As they do.
Right. I think that is something that maybe, you could take that and say, sure. That is something that is a genuine concern, and not just something that somebody says because they've gone bananas. They've seen it. They lived through it, these two, the only two that actually did. Yes, remind them, getting set on fire takes a little bit to recover from. Plus, Drew isn't even here anymore. She took off. So whatever, doesn't matter. And she just warns them, nothing can go wrong before this evaluation. It's coming. It's a big deal. This evaluation. Can't wait to see what this guy's going to evaluate by the end of the show. I'm sure it's going to be very tedious. Now, we get all the stuff with Kate now. Kate's still blaming Angel for things. This time she has to go up for review again because the captain that was puppeteering all those zombies last week sent a complaint about her because she let Angel into the into the thing and beat the heck out of him. No one ever, never under any suspicion for those zombie cops he had going and stuff like that. Never mind about that. This is all just about Angel. Got to do something about Kate here and stuff like that. She's gonna bring up. She said I could always bring up these lawyers that happen, stuff like that, and she's I do appreciate that she said, like, the forensics guys have told me that the perpetrators had to bust their way out, so someone had to have locked them in. Angel, you know what I mean?
Oh yes.
I don't know why the forensics guys would have had to have done that. You would probably, if you were a half decent detective, just noticed the door had to get smashed open before. But what are you gonna do? So she has a bit of an evaluation herself. It's all about evaluating. Come to think of it, in this episode. Now, Lindsay's been shacking up with Darla. That's always a good idea when a human and a vampire partner up. It's nice of him that he brings her a big glass jar full of blood. Questionable about where he would have got it, considering that is an animal blood. That was direct human blood there, but a little chilly, a little on the a little cold side for Darla's taste. But at least she does appreciate the humanness of it all, unlike a certain mopey guy who's been
Mm-hmm.
a bit of a whiner here for the last few weeks and stuff. Oh, just because of Darla craziness. So, if, for some reason, Angel has to go over to Caritas, and he's going to talk with the host. Seems like that entire place is filled for some reason with Wolfram and Hart employees. Yeah, I guess it can be. Lawyers can be like human demons. Is that the parallel they're trying to make, you think?
I don't know. Interesting.
Yeah, they don't have to be there. They could go to any regular bar, but maybe it's just close. Maybe it's just close to the place or whatever. You never know. Everybody likes a karaoke every once in a while. You know what I mean? I could go up there. I could sing, maybe Angel Falling Too Close to the Ground by Willie Nelson. What's that? Possibly Forever in Blue Jeans by Neil Diamond.
Oh, wow. Yes.
But they got a couple of people singing Reunited by Peaches and Herb, and I can appreciate that.
Well, it's funny. I just watched Songs in Blue, and there's a lot of Neil Diamond in there.
I've noticed that movie, and I was like, yeah, that's a movie I actually would sit down and watch. And I was telling Ferris yesterday, I finally sat down to watch Sinners. The vampire bits
Yes.
are good.
Very good.
Yeah,
Very good.
I liked it. Anyways, the host is going to tell Angel something like, "Oh, there's going to be something very big coming on Friday." It's like I can't tell you exactly or whatever. I can't tell you what these people have read. I wouldn't tell you what you've done or whatever. But I guess they've all been talking about it in the bathroom. He has no problem giving the dish about that stuff. It's going to be a dark, merciless evil coming. A senior partner. We've heard all about them. Brennen, now we're finally going to see one. Oh boy, can't
Yes.
wait to see what this guy is going to do as soon as he comes to Earth and starts wreaking havoc. Now, the host is going to tell him all the little things like rights and such has been like all these things that he's been quashing lately. Doesn't mean anything. The senior partners thing is a big deal. You know what I mean? So he wants, of course, Angel. How do you stop this thing? Turns out, luckily, the host knows about something called the Band of Blacknell.
Yeah, not a very exciting name.
No, I imagined a lot of this story to be. It could be very much like a Lord of the Ringsy kind of thing, with one ring or whatever this guy's wearing, and then there's a glove that
I don't
gets
know.
put on.
Band in Black made me think of Johnny Cash.
Oh, yeah, I like it. Anyways,
Man in Black. But yeah.
yeah, nope. I'll take Johnny Cash over. It's gonna be it could be a ring of fire, possibly. You never know. Now,
Well, if you know, you know.
hmm now, Ashel has to go home with all this. He's got to do some research, and he doesn't like a few moments worth, not very much at all. Then decides, I'm just gonna barge into the agency, just start taking stuff. Start saying, "Oh, you took all the good books." I think all those books were Wesley's. They weren't Angel's. But anyways, Cordy's just snatches it right back, and Angel gets in her face. And yeah, this is something it's an unforgivable thing that
Hmm.
Angel does, and he says, "Oh, I'm a vampire. Why don't you look it up?" Like, oh my god, get over yourself here, buddy. You know what I mean? That's when
Yes.
she goes on that tirade about this guy just needs to get laid. If it was anybody else, if this guy gets laid, you never know we know what's going to happen. She was in Sunnydale when it happened. Like, but so anybody else, so a little foreshadowing, possibly to what could happen here at the end of the story. But uh, Wesley stands up really quick, to protest, Angel taking the stuff from Cordy. Somehow rips up 6 stitches. He says he has to go back to the hospital and stuff like that. It's like, well, there's nothing you can do about that. Nothing you can do after ripping stitches after they've been in there for a couple of weeks there. Wes, for goodness sakes. So Kate goes through a review. Essentially, she knows she's there to get fired. I think a couple of these guys actually made decent points. Like I say, you've become way too obsessed with this occult stuff. You're withdrawn from the rest of the force. I don't know what we're supposed to do with you. Here's one thing though: why the hell didn't she have a union rep with her? She was getting a formal reprimand. They were even firing her.
Good point.
They're doing it without a rep.
You know the LAPD.
I guess so. But why was she paying all? I'm sure she's paying dues into this thing. Ridiculous not to have it, but without a union rep there, she has a good grievance to file against the city or the just the police department itself. So maybe that's why it's like, you didn't want to invite my rep or whatever. We're going to keep this under wraps. But she sure has a funny way of, going over. If she had a plan for the future like that, funny way of showing it here pretty soon. But it was a turd thing for that one guy to say as she was leaving, I'm glad your father wasn't here to see this. Her father was a schmuck. I still understand. Like, she knows he was a schmuck. And still, everything keeps affecting her about her dad, for God's sakes. Anyway, it's when Angel goes back. He's like thinking back to those happy times at the hotel when they had a demon decide that he's going to make everybody turn into McCarthyism and stuff like that. So it's like, well, that guy helped me before. Maybe he can help me again. So he's going to go see Denver in modern day. He's all too happy to help out Angel. Turns out Angel changed his life. Just knowing a vampire could help mankind. You can see the good. You can see the good in the world again. I did appreciate when he asked what happened with all those people. He says, I don't know why I left. I'm assuming the demon killed them all. Yep. Just the guys. Oh, all right. Well, that's terrible. He wants questions. He wants to know about this. Then he wants to know how to kill this demon and stuff like that. He's a little all over the place. So, find out this demon is something called a Claynach demon. And since it has a blend of blackmail, it's going to be able to go back and forth through the dimensions between the hell and the hell dimensions and earth and wherever it needs to go. Angel asks if he takes this ring, if he'd be able to use it. Denver kind of lays it out and saying, yeah, but to use it, what do you want? You think you're going to go down there and destroy hell? Well, I think you're thinking about suicide here, pal. But you're going to need a glove to do it if you do. Anyways, you need a glove to take this thing because it couldn't be so simple. And I guess it is kind of simple because he says, oh, I just happened to pick this the exact glove you needed up at a garage sale in Topanga in 1975, and he was using it as an oven mitt.
The things you can get in LA, I tell you.
I guess you're right. You'd never see a glove like that in Winnipeg. But I would also never.
Probably not.
I'd never use an iron glove as an oven mitt.
Yeah, might not be a good idea.
It'd be ridiculous. Anyways, by the end, he's handing him over. He's like, again, Denver's so appreciative and stuff like that. And then he gets a funny look in his face because a sword has been put through the poor man's back. And for some reason, Angel goes forward to grab him, and the swordsman just gets thrust through again. Darla has a sword in a bookstore for whatever reason. She's there just at the right time to pick up the glove and say, the glove is about power. So get that ring. It's all powerful and stuff. Darla wants more power, it seems. So there's great. So we see Wesley now recover over at Virginia's place. I don't understand this breakup at all. It makes no sense how all of a
It's
sudden,
very strange. It's very strange.
yeah, and like she seems to be sympathizing with him, and he's like, "Oh, this must be tough breaking up with me." Also, she's going on about all the demons and stuff like that that she's used to fighting, and also she was sending cases their way about demons. So yeah, he got shot, and it's like, well, it makes you feel better. It was a zombie that shot me. She's like, no, that doesn't make me feel any better. You had one instance where there was a mortal weapon used against you instead of a supernatural one, and she's out. She's out because of something so random as that. Anyways, bye, Virginia. This is the last time. This is the last time we see her on the show. That's
Yeah.
it. That's the breakup. It's kind of lame. I don't know why they kept bringing her back if this is all that we're gonna do to let go of her. Okay, so speaking of letting go, Kate gets back to her place. She opens up a bottle of vodka, sort of pours herself a glass. She then starts knocking over all kinds of awards and trophies. You got trophies for being a good cop in LA?
I don't know. I wonder.
Maybe a bunch of those might be for like the three-legged race, stuff like that. You know what I mean? Or was it Dave and Buster's? Don't they give out medals and trophies like stuff
Something
like
like
that?
yes, they do.
Maybe she's just a very good customer at Dave and Buster's. I don't know. So, and of course she's gonna start crying because she has a picture of her dad with her this all time. Uh, and then back to Wolfram Hart, and I enjoy that Lila's decided not to use the garage anymore because it isn't safe. So she hires Muscle. That gets wiped out by Angel in 2 seconds. Takes her in or whatever and makes her do the fingerprint thing for the elevator to get up to the 15th floor and stuff like that. See what happens there in a bit because Corey has to take this call from Wes, and he's like not wanting to fill her in on the stuff. He's like, he won't be in the next day. She says, maybe you shouldn't be in either. You should go out and have fun. She says, I don't have any friends. Like, how far has Cordelia Chase fallen?
Oh
Yep.
yes.
Terrible. You would imagine she had some friends like in the very beginning of the
Well, they
series.
probably weren't very much real friends.
That's true. But good news. Maybe one of those unreal friends might be coming back to the show at
True.
some point here,
True.
very soon. Anyways, she gets up. She's like, "You don't count, Wesley. You're not. You're more than just a friend. They work together. Blah blah blah. Great." She gets another call before she can leave for the day, and it's that damn Mrs. Sharp. She's changed her mind. Luckily enough, she's going to come up with some money for the agency. She's like, wait, and then you can see Corey say a personal check. Here's the deal: why would she tell Cordelia that she's going to write her a personal check when the whole plan was just to have Cordy go out so that demon can get her?
Good point.
It made no sense. I did like though that after the phone call, she said, "Okay, one of them's going to come." And the guy actually, the demon there, looks like he's comforting her a little bit before, of course, snapping her neck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that anybody that needed a good neck snapping on the show lately? I'd say it's this girl.
Yeah, unfortunately, I would agree with you.
Yes. All right. Time for the review, and we've been looking forward to this. What is happening with the senior partners? First time, I think the only time you ever see one in the show. Now, of course, like most law offices, their boardroom or gathering area or something like that has a large pentagram on it and some creepy chanting monks.
Well, I always wondered how lawyers were able to get away with what they get away with. So.
They use the dark arts. It's the dark arts, Brennen.
Yes, the occult. That seems to be the answer.
Yep. We see standing. Mr. Reed is wondering where Lila is. It says it doesn't look good. Then he gets a notice that there's a vampire in the building. He says,
Their
"Okay,
security is not that great, really.
yeah, it's terrible. They have demons specifically there to warn them about vampires. Doesn't seem to work.
Yeah,
Not ever. Not ever. Especially with one character who's going to be showing up right away. Not this one. Angel and Lila are there. Lindsay's going to yell out there. Lila's going to hit him and Angel in a very uncomfortable spot. But to be fair, Angel takes it like a champ. Everyone starts running after him. He loses them, Brennen, by turning a corner. Not even a corner. He just goes around a pillar because all of a sudden he has nobody chasing him. He gets to scan around, see what's happening here at the meeting. This is wild, of course. Everybody's waiting for this thing to come. Everyone's starting to drop to their knees because here comes the senior partner. But there's a lady there wearing a red dress, seeing the dark hair and stuff like that. But Angel is, maybe risking a little limb here by taking a bottle of holy water with him. Grabs the wig off the head, throws the holy water in the face, and of course it's Darla. And speaking of taking things like a champ, she just took holy water to the face and seemed fine.
yeah, she seemed fine to me.
Yeah, it's like a one of those acid things or whatever. Maybe it's a just helps to tighten up the skin. Or that's how she keeps so young, seeing how she's 700 or 800 years old or whatever it is. And a little face wash with the holy water every once in a while. Never, you know what? It says holy water. It can't be terrible. You know what I mean?
It's true.
Better than sewer water. You know what I mean? So she had the glove with her. They're gonna fight or whatever. Here comes the guards. Finally, the glove is gonna get loose. Angel's gonna grab it. Guard's gonna top of Darla. Lila says to stake that bitch, and Lindsay socks her one, punches her in the face.
Yeah,
Yeah.
interesting.
It turns out, she gets back up. She can take a punch. This girl, you kind of, good for Lila, and you question Lindsay's manhood for doing something so stupid. So, Angel's got in the glove. Here's the big reveal. Here's the senior partner everybody's been terrified of. Angel puts on the glove, runs at this thing, and much like that first time he was at Wolfram Hart, grabs pushes the fella out the window. But this time he's going along for the ride. Luckily, it's at night, not during the day. But he's grabbed the senior partner by the face, takes him all the way down. By the time he hits the ground, it's just robes. There's no beast left.
It was Mother Gothel, is what it was.
Yeah. So
she falls out the window and vanishes.
Mm-hmm. Left the ring.
No.
Left that ring. Yep, thank goodness for that. Now, looks like he's going to win because there's a elevator that pops up out of nowhere. He's going to go to it, and look who it is. It's a Holland Manners.
Yes, working on an elevator to hell.
Yeah, working the elevators now. He's a dedicated employee, and he has to remind us like, no, this is me. I'm not alive, but I'm not a ghost or anything like that. I'm not a demon. It's just like my contract with Wolfram Hart lasts a very, very long time, well after death.
But it's the importance of reading the fine print.
Exactly, and he's a lawyer. He should have known that. He's got the bite marks and everything. He's just a well-preserved, reanimated corpse, it seems. He wants to, he wonders, you want to go to the home office? Whoa, this is going to be exciting. He talks about how it's going to be a long trip down and stuff like that. I don't think it seems too long, but a long enough time for them to have a chat, which is nice. He brings up, it's like, what are you trying to do here? It's like, you want to stop another apocalypse. It's like, I suggest you do that. Just think of all the people you're going to save. And then, but there's going to be another apocalypse, and you can maybe save that one too and stuff like that. But Then there's going to be another one. Yeah. No, he says. Angel says that. Don't worry about it. It's just going to have. He's going to do something. It's just that all these things are going to spring up, but they're not going to win. And Holland has to say, "Hal, it's not about winning. You know, we have no interest in winning. Turns out they're just always going to be there. There's nothing you can do about it. The
Interesting.
the world doesn't work without them. They work because of it. For God's sakes." They arrive at the home office. They open it up. It's just where they left off. The same place. It
Now
hasn't
it's a bit of
changed.
a surprise.
There's the little sting for Angel here. The home office is just Earth. There's evil in everyone, and there always has been, and as long as there is, there'll always be Wolfram Hart. You know, and that was a little dejected. Angel, he's gonna drop the glove. Holland is gonna tell him to have a nice day, which I can appreciate. It's always nice to be polite.
Yes, have a nice day in hell is basically what he's saying.
Yep, and yeah, sure he's where he's always been and stuff like that, but yeah, that's where he is now. So we are gonna get some moping. He's gonna mope all. He's gonna mope all the way.
Leading to.
Yeah, through the streets. You're gonna see Kate in her bathroom grab a bottle of pills. You're gonna see Wesley all by himself. Cordy's just about to head in that trap. All of this kind of reminds me of the Empire Strikes Back, Brennan, where everything.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
It's
I
the
can
dark.
see that.
Here's all the. It's where it's darkest before the dawn's coming in now. Kate's leaving this message. I guess they have two Angel investigations because with using the same messaging and stuff like that. Because Angel's over at the hotel and he can hear Kate's message here, but he doesn't really care. He's like, oh, you made me trust you, didn't you? Oh my God, I don't think any of what she's saying right now is earned at all. So, anyways, he doesn't care. He's had it. He goes up to his room. He knows that Darla's there. He says you can have this ring, or you can have something else. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Uh,
and
wink,
that's where
wink.
it goes.
Yeah. Ultimately, this thing could be much more dangerous than that ring. No, it's going to take a little convincing. Um, we have to remember that it comes down to it. These two are not human. Otherwise, you'd think Angel is even worse of a monster than he actually is.
Yeah,
Yeah, she doesn't want to be playing any games. Now, all of a sudden, she doesn't want to play any games. She wanted to play all kinds of games beforehand. This is how all this banana stuff started happening. Anyways, he says he wants to feel something other than the cold,
okay.
Brennan, for God's sakes. So,
Not the most original pickup line.
no, it's more being mopey. He's mopey right to the end here. Anyway, eventually, you know, Angel's gonna work out a few years of a tension. Maybe that's the word I could use for what's happening here before waking up. And much like Surprise, you can see he's pain in his stomach, and you can see in his eyes something's not right, and that's where this one ends.
Yeah, I wonder
Oh boy,
where it goes because I'm gonna find out.
you're gonna find out. You haven't seen these episodes yet. It's very fun to rewatch this and see you with your
Yeah,
first ever perspective
and I'll
of
be
these
with
things.
you till at least the end of the season.
Fantastic. Brennan, thank you so much for joining
Thank
the
you.
council today. Why don't you tell people what you're up to before we head out of here?
Well, you can find me on Bluesky, Brennen.bluesky.social,
Mm-hmm.
Apple Podcast, Spotify, and YouTube at Page Turners They Were Not.
And a boy. Now, coming up on our sister channel, Good Friends, Better Rivals, I'll be live Tuesday for starting 11. We'll be talking about the starting 11 derby as Arsenal and Chelsea face each other this Sunday. We'll be talking with Adelia, possibly Ferris. Chelsea hasn't had a very good record against Arsenal of late, so I'm assuming I'll have to take a couple of gut punches for this one. We'll find out Tuesday. Hopefully not. Hopefully Chelsea will do something, and I'll just snicker and laugh for about 45 minutes. That'll be the entire show. Now, a week from Monday, we'll be having the next edition of Post Whistle, talking NHL with our pal Ryan Christensen, and the post trade deadline. So the rosters will be set for the NHL teams going into the playoffs. I don't think it's going to do much for my Jets, who are quite a bit outside the playoff picture right now. But Ryan's Islanders are right in the mix, and Adelia's Avalanche are the top of the league, which turns my stomach. Rewatchers Council will be back next week, same times, live Thursday, 5 Central. The Body is the episode.
Yeah, I will not be joining you for that one.
One of the all-time classics, like you said, probably at least top 5 in most people's reviews of
very depressing.
It's a very unique episode. We'll get into it on Thursday, and then of course we'll be back next time here on Angel with Epiphany, an episode I like actually quite a bit. So join us next week for Angel, and until then, everybody, in the words of good old Holland Masters, Holland Manners, I should say, sorry. We can't even say rest in peace. He doesn't get to rest. He has to work at least an elevator.
He has to work in an elevator for all eternity.
He'll be doing something. A day's work is a day's work, even if it's forever.
Yes.
So that you guys like and subscribe, and we'll talk to you again next time.